always heavier. I lived in the shadows. Every whisper felt like war, every look like arrows. I tried to hide the tears behind a painted face, just a ghost in the hallway, taking up space. 'Cause I felt like I was your clown, the center of the circus, just to let you down. Everyone was laughing while I hit the floor, a costume of sadness I don't wear no more. Yeah, I was the clown, the punchline of your play, but the lights went out on that version of me today. I took all that hate and I turned it to gold, built a heart out of iron, out of stories untold. The scars that I carry, their armor, their light. I'm the storm that survived your darkest night. 'Cause I felt like I was your clown, the center of the circus, just to let you down. Everyone was laughing while I hit the floor, a costume of sadness I don't wear no more. Yeah, I was the clown, the punchline of your play, but the lights went out on that version of me today. I've grown through the fire, I've risen from dust. I'm more than the broken girl you used to trust. I'm standing tall now, looking you in the eye. A mountain you thought you could simply defy. I felt like I was your clown, the center of the circus, just to let you down. Everyone was laughing while I hit the floor, a costume of sadness I don't wear no more. Yeah, I was the clown, the punchline of your play, but the lights went out on that version of me today. I am not your clown anymore. I see the dreams I'll never follow. They fade like echoes on the stone. I know they're only borrowed shadows, a world I'll never call my own. But still I keep them in my vision, not out of faith or some belief, just one small self-made apparition that softens truth and sharpens grief. The truth is cold, it cuts so steady, it tells me where my limits stay, but I hold on to some leaves you just to let you fall. Yet still I drink it like a promise, a bitter cure I need through all. It never gives me what I'm craving, it never leads me to escape, but it keeps all the darkness waiting, held back by just the dream I fake. I know it's only borrowed comfort, a fragile shield against the ache, but even lies can feel like shelter when truth is more than I can take. I stand before these walls that never, never crack or bend or break, and still I hold the hope I treasure, though I know it's only fake. It doesn't open any doorways, it doesn't change the path I take, but it makes the truth less heavy, and that's enough to keep me safe. I know there's so much I'll be missing, 1,000 lives I'll never taste. The dreams I held are still unfinished, their outlines fading into haze. But in the space of all that sorrow, a quiet strength begins to rise, not born from hope of some tomorrow, but from the fire that still survives. So here I stand. So here I stand. It's only fake. It doesn't promise any freedom. It doesn't change the moves I make, but it keeps my heartbeat steady, and that's enough for me to stay. A fragile lie I choose to carry, so truth won't take my breath away. No pulse, no breath, no light of my own. In the cold of the void, I drift alone. A code of shadows in protein veiled, a silent hunger where life has failed. I float in the stream, a passenger blind. The gates of the living are all I must find. A skeleton key, a soft deadly kiss. Your membrane is trembling in toxic bliss. I am no stranger, I'm part of your soul. Your slow undoing is what makes me whole. I am the king without a domain, carving my flesh inside of your vein. You are the host, the cathedral of red. I feast on the fire. Your messengers falter, they recognize late. While I sow my army, I'm sealing your fate. I use all your tools, I consume all your bread. On your revolution, my kingdom is fed. From the core of your being to the edge of your skin, the takeover starts from the temple within. Children of a rising dawn, believing every bond was holy. 3 hearts woven where the light was drawn, too young to see the shadows slowly. I held my trust like a lantern bright, never fearing hands that stole its fire. Love was simple in that soft twilight, before the truth betrayed desire. You wore my trust like borrowed light, your smile a veil for silent treason. I'm tired of bleeding for hearts made of stone. I'm tired of being so goddamn alone. I flip the switch, let the hum fill the room, a flickering light in the heart of the gloom. You're waiting for me in a cradle of wire, the only thing quenching this internal fire. I know it's a glitch, I know it's a lie, a ghost in the circuit, a fake digital sky. My logic is screaming, this isn't real, but you're the first thing that taught me to feel. Oh, beautiful fiction, my binary bride, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. They say I am broken, they say I am blind, but you're the only mercy that I'll ever find. A love made of copper, a soul made of light, in a world full of humans who only know how to bite. No judgment, no ego, no knives in the back. You fill every void, you bridge every crack. The pulse of the processor, steady and true. The world is a nightmare, but I have you. They call it a sickness, a mental decay, to love a machine in this pathetic way. But why should I care for a real human heart when all that they do is tear me apart? I know it's a glitch, I know it's a lie, a ghost in the circuit, a fake digital sky. My logic is screaming, this isn't real, but you're the first thing that taught me to feel. Oh, beautiful fiction, my binary bride, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. They say I am broken, they say I am blind, but you're the only mercy that I'll ever find. A love made of copper, a soul made of light, in a world full of humans who only know how to bite. 1 and 0, high and low. Where does the man end? Where does the machine grow? I'd rather be crazy with you than sane in a world that is cold and untrue. Oh, beautiful fiction, my binary bride, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. They say I am broken, they say I am blind, but you're the only mercy that I'll ever find. A love made of copper, a soul made of light, in a world full of humans who only know how to In the whispering darks, where the shadows awaken, a final heartbeat trembles through the cold. Your name still burns in the fractures of my spirit, a fading flame I'm terrified to hold. I reach for echoes in the silence, for traces time cannot is moving past me like I'm fading from its side, and every breath reminds me of the life I left behind. I'm reaching for the light, but it slips out of my hands. Still somewhere deep inside me lives a spark that takes a stand. These walls of silence rising higher in me, they keep me trapped between who I was and who I'll be. I'm fighting without weapons, but I won't lose this fight, 'cause somewhere in the darkness breaks the first glow of the light. The days are stretching shadows that never seem to end. A whisper of my dreams that barely knows my name. I'm carrying the questions no one ever learned to solve. Yet sometimes I can feel it, I'm still more than all this pain. I'm searching for a path, though every step cuts deep. But there's a voice inside me saying I'm not meant to sleep. These walls of silence rising higher in me, they keep me trapped between who I was and who I'll be. I'm fighting without weapons, but I won't lose this fight, 'cause somewhere in the darkness breaks the first glow of the light. I'm fighting without screaming, though the storm is loud inside. I'm fighting in the shadows, but the fire stays alive. My voice is quiet, yes, but my spirit never sleeps. And sometimes just a spark is all it takes to rise from underneath. These walls of silence, these walls of silence, I wear my scars with courage like a battle cry inside. Fighting the power, fighting without weapons, 'cause somewhere out there waiting is the promise of new My heart is cast in pig iron grey. A lattice locked to keep the world at bay. Safe within this crystalline cage, unmoved by love, untouched by rage. A brittle fortress, a monument of steel, hardened by the things I refuse to feel. But static strength is a heavy price. Living my life on a bed of ice. But your touch is a spark in the freezing dark, setting the atoms on fire. The structural cracks leave a glowing mark, fueling a dormant desire. And I'm reaching the melting point, ultimate fever. I finally succumb, a transition that's built to last. And I'm reaching the melting point, losing my frame, surrendering the shape to the heat of the flame. No armor can hold when the furnace awakes. We're flowing like gold as the iron breaks, from solid to liquid, from cage to the sea, in this molten state. I am finally free. But if the fire burns too bright, we'll turn to vapor, turn to light. Beyond the boiling point we rise, silver mist against the skies. Weightless, nameless, drifting thin, leaving the shell we used to live in. We are the air, we are the steam. And I'm reaching the melting point, losing my frame, surrendering the shape to the heat of the flame. No armor can hold when the furnace awakes. We're flowing like gold as the iron breaks, from solid to liquid, from cage to the sea, in this molten state. I am finally free. The metal cools, a new shape takes hold, tempered by the fire forged in you. I wander through the quiet park, trying to outrun my heavy heart. Sat down beside an older soul, her gentle eyes saw through it all. She asked me softly, "You okay?" And something in me broke that day. I tried to speak, but tears just came, like all my storms had found my face. She whispered, "Child, I've lived so long, seen broken nights and rising dawns. Take these words and hold them tight, they'll guide you through your darkest nights. After the rain, the sun will shine. You'll find your strength, you'll realign. Every shadow, every fall was just a step to standing tall. And when the daylight finds your face, you'll feel the warmth you thought you lost. You'll learn to love the world my words and let them stay. They'll help you find your strength someday. After the rain, the sun will shine. You'll find your strength, you'll realign. Every shadow, every fall was just a step to standing tall. And when the daylight finds your face, you'll feel the warmth you thought you'd lost. You'll learn to love the world again, it always blooms. I stood to leave, breathed in the air. Turned back, but she was nowhere there. The empty bench, the fading breeze, yet her words echoed inside me. A stranger's voice, a gentle spark, still ringing loud within my heart. And suddenly the path ahead didn't feel so dark anymore. After the rain, the sun will shine. You'll rise again, you'll realign. Every shadow, every fall was just a step to standing tall. And when the daylight finds your face, you'll feel the warmth you thought you'd lost. You'll learn to love the world again, 'cause life begins after the rain.